everyone. I'll give you about a minute to get settled. My name is Vicki and this is Beginner's Yoga. I am with Living Balance Studios here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we'll get started in just a minute. You'll need blocks, possibly. It just depends on you. If you have some, use them. If not, and you want some type of prop, you could use soup cans or jars of pasta sauce. Also, before we get started, I want to let you know, well, I wanted to remind you to take care of your bodies. Listen to your body. You know your limitations. I do invite you to challenge yourself, but also honor and respect your body. And so if you feel any pain or numbness, back off. And also understand that myself and Living Balance Studios are not liable for any injury that could possibly occur during your class this evening. So with that said, we're all going to get started on the mat, well, of course on our mat, but get started seated. So come to your comfortable seat. And start to tune in to your breath. Just noticing each inhale and exhale. Not making any changes to the breath just yet. Just noticing. Being aware of your breath. Staying here in this present moment. Letting go of any events that have taken place this week. Letting go of any agendas you might have on for tonight or this evening. And just be here in this present moment. And now start to deepen your breath. Taking in deep inhales through the nose. And long and slow exhales out of the nose. Continue to breathe in this way. Deep inhales. Long and slow exhales. Feel each breath as you breathe in. Feel the vitality and energy that comes with each inhale. And as you breathe out, letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Breathing in fresh new supply of oxygen, nurturing every cell in the body, every muscle, every organ. Breathing out any tension, tiredness, frustration. Continue to take your deep breath in. Long and slow exhales out. And then on your next inhale, if your eyes are closed, go ahead and gently flutter the eyes open. And then we're going to inhale and rise to arms up in the air. Exhale, turn the palms facing away from one another and push the walls away as you lower your hands down. Inhale, rise up. And exhale. Inhale, rise up here. As you exhale, bring your arms into cactus arms or W arms. And then we'll inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Hold it here and breathe. And inhale. As you exhale, pull the abs deep in towards the spine and twist towards your left. Inhale, forward. Exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale, forward. As you exhale, lower your left hand down by your side. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Reach nice and tall here. And exhale, bend over towards the left. Now on your second inhale, as you exhale, we're going to round forward so you're closing that chest off towards the floor. And then inhale, open up. Open that chest nice and wide. Exhale, close it off. Inhale, open. Exhale. And hold it here. Breathe. And take an inhale here. As you exhale, lower that hand down to the mat. And then we're going to walk our hands to the center of the mat. Reaching the fingertips away from the body, anchoring the hips down onto the mat here, coming into a forward fold. Let your head hang heavy in between your arms. And on your next inhale, walk the hands back towards the body, lifting the torso up. Coming into your seat. Now let's switch the position of our legs. So bring the opposite leg in front or on top. And get nice and comfortable here. And let's inhale, rise the arms up in the air. Exhale into your W arms. Breathe here. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, W arms. And inhale. And exhale, hold it here. Inhale. As you exhale, pull the abs deep in towards the spine. Twist towards the right this time. And then we'll inhale back to center. Exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale back to center. And exhale, lower that right hand down by your side, right next to your hip. Inhale, reach tall, lengthen that left side body. And then exhale, lean in towards the right. Nice open chest here. Breathe. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale here. Exhale, close that chest off or round forward. Inhale, rise, open. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, open up. And exhale, hold it here, breathe. Inhale here, and as you exhale, lower that hand down to the mat. Now we're going to walk our hands to the center of the mat, coming into that forward fold. Reach those fingertips away from the body. Anchor your hips firmly onto your mat. Let your head hang heavy in between your arms. And breathe. firmly into the mat and pull yourself forward into your table. I'm going to turn to the side where you can see me better. You're going to stack your shoulders over your wrist and your hips are stacked over your knees. When you inhale, we're going to tilt the tailbone up, drop the belly, look up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round the back, bring your chin to your chest. Inhale, tuck the tailbone, tilt the tailbone up, chest up, look up. This is your cow pose. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round the back, chin to chest, coming into your cat pose. Continue moving with your breath. Allow your movement to be fluid-like. Move slow and mindful. We're going to do about 2 more rounds of cat-cow. And on your next inhale, once you've completed that last round, come back into your tabletop. Just kind of shift the hips from side to side. And then walk your hands towards your knees and sit back onto your heels. And kind of come back towards the back of your mat here. Sitting in our hero's pose, we're going to work on some low sun salutations, just on warming up the body here. So bring your hands into front of your heart into prayer pose. Take an inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, we'll rise up into our thunderbolt. Arms up in the air. And as you exhale, we're going to lower down into a child's pose. So you'll sit your hips back onto your heels, and you'll reach the fingertips away from the body. Make sure your fingers are spread wide on the mat here. And let your forehead rest on the floor. If it doesn't quite reach the floor, that's okay. On your next inhale, we're going to pull ourselves forward into a plank. Make sure your shoulders are over the wrist here. Pull the abs in and hug your arms into your side body. Make sure the creases of your elbows are pointing forward. Inhale here, and as you exhale, we're going to bend the elbows and lower all the way down. Elbows are pointing back behind you. Your arms are brushing against your side body here. And try to press the elbows towards one another. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Pull the abs in. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lift up into a baby cobra. Inhale, lower down. Exhale here. And then inhale, press up through a plank. And exhale, sit back into a child's pose. We'll inhale, rise up into our thunderbolt. And exhale, sit back into hero's pose. And rest here. Breathe. So we're going to run through this 2 more times. Let's inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down into your child's pose. And then inhale, pull yourself forward into your knees down plank. Hug those arms towards your side body. As you exhale, elbows pointing behind you, lower all the way down. Take in an inhale here. As you exhale, press up into your baby cobra. Inhale, lower here. And exhale. Inhale, press up through your plank. And exhale, child's pose. Inhale, rise up into your thunderbolt. Exhale, sit back into hero's pose. Breathe. And one more round. Let's inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down into your child's pose. Inhale, forward into your plank. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower all the way down. Inhale here, make sure those shoulders are down away from the ears. Exhale, press up. Inhale, lower. And exhale. Inhale, press up through the plank. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, thunderbolt. Exhale your hands in front of your heart. Hero's pose. And breathe. Beautiful. Now let's come up into a high kneeling here. Bring your hands to your hips. Make sure you're not leaning forward. I have a tendency to do that. So stand, make sure you're straight up and down here and you're in that neutral pelvis. Take an inhale. As you exhale, pull the abs deep in towards the spine, and we're going to step that left leg forward, coming into our low lunge here. And then inhale, rise the arms up in the air. Low crescent lunge. Tuck the tailbone down towards the mat. Abs are in. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And imagine that you are trying to drag your foot and knee towards one another. Engaging the muscles in the legs. Working on strength, stability, and balance here. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, extend your arms out in front of you like so. Inhale here. And as you exhale, pull the abs deep in towards the spine and open out into a twist. Breathe. Then we'll inhale, twist back to center. Rise the arms up in the air. And exhale, lower them down to the mat. Step back into your tabletop. Make sure the wrists are over the shoulders are over the wrists, and the hips are over the knees. We'll inhale, tilt the tailbone up, drop the belly, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round the back, chin to chest. 2 more cat-cows on your own. Move with your breath. Slow, controlled movement. And once you finish that last one, come back into your tabletop. Walk your hands back towards the knees. Rise up into your kneel. Hands to hips here. Make sure that torso is straight up and down. We're not leaning forward. Again, inhale. Exhale, pull the abs deep in towards the spine and then step that right foot forward. Making sure that knee is trading directly over that ankle. You don't want it going past the ankle here. You want it directly over. You're going to drag that knee and foot towards one another. Inhale, rise the arms up. Relax the shoulders. Breathe here. And inhale. Exhale, extend the arms long. Inhale. Exhale, open out towards the right. And we'll inhale, twist back to center. Arms up overhead. Exhale, lower the hands down to the mat. And then come back into your tabletop. Shift the hips from side to side. And now come to stillness. Now walk your hands about a half a handprint forward. Make sure your fingers are spread wide on your mat like so. Press the index finger firmly into the mat. Tuck the toes under. Take in an inhale. As you exhale, lift the knees just an inch off the mat. And then inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift the knees up. Inhale, lower back down. And exhale, lift the knees up. Hold it here. Breathe. And we're only lifting the knees about an inch off the mat. So not up here, right about here. Take in an inhale here. As you exhale, shift the hips up and back into down dog. And inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee. Keep the hips squared. Inhale, come straighten. Exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, straighten. One more round. Exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, straighten. Beautiful. Take in an inhale here. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, straighten the legs. Look towards the top of your mat. Take in an inhale here. As you exhale, bend both knees and slowly walk to your hands. Hips are squared here. Try not to let them sway from side to side. Once you get to your hands, we're going to inhale to a half lift. So bring your hands to your shins. Press the hips back. Reach the crown of the head forward. Press your hands into your shins and your shins into your hands. And then exhale, fold. Now grab a hold of opposite elbows and sway from side to side. Let the torso just kind of be heavy here. This is called ragdoll. And now we'll come to stillness. Release the elbows. Put a deep bend in the knees, so deep that you're resting your torso on top of your thighs. And then we'll inhale the arms nice and wide here and pull the abs deep in towards the spine. Press the heels into the mat and rise all the way up. Palms touching up top. Exhale your hands in front of your heart. And breathe. And now, let's inhale, rise the arms up in the air. Grab a hold of your left wrist, give it a massage. Inhale, reach tall, point that tailbone down towards the mat, pull the abs in, and then exhale, reach over towards the right. That's standing side bend, nice open chest. And then inhale, rise up. I'm going to turn to the side where you can see me. Grab a hold of your right wrist. Give it a nice massage here. Reach nice and tall. And exhale, bend towards the left. Now try not to dump into your side body here, to your right side body. So we're inhale, reach and tall into your left side body. Excuse me, I meant to say left, try not to dump into the left side body. So you're reaching tall, and it's like you're reaching up and over. And then inhale up, and exhale your hands down by your side. So if you're at this on top of your mat, you're just going to step your left leg towards the back. So we're coming into a wide-legged stance here. Toes are pointing towards the long edge of your mat, and the sides of your feet are parallel to the short edges of your mat. We're going to take in an inhale, reach nice and tall, and as you exhale, bend your knees, and we're going to come into a forward fold. And then inhale, rise up into a half lift. So maybe come onto your fingertips, or if you have blocks, you can take a block and place it in front of you and rest your hands on the block. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale inhale into a half lift. Exhale, fold. And one more inhale, half lift. The crown of the head is reaching forward. And exhale, fold. And so put a deep bend in the knees here. Bring the hands to the tops of the thighs. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Beautiful. And from here, we're going to take our left toes and turn them towards the top edge of our mat. Your hips will kind of go at a slight angle here. We're going to inhale, extend the arms long. Reach those fingertips nice and long here. So try to be strong in the arms here, not kind of just hanging out. You want to be strong in the arms. Imagine you have this strong energy shooting down with both ends of your fingertips. And as you exhale, bend that front knee. Warrior two. Lengthen your side body here. Tailbones pointing down towards the mat. Abs are in. Relax the shoulders. So let's inhale and turn our palms facing up towards the ceiling. And then exhale. Turn them down. Hold it here. Your knee should be trailing right over your ankle. Not going past your ankle or your toes, but right over the ankle. And then we're going to inhale and straighten the leg and rise the arms up, gaze up towards the thumbs, and then exhale into warrior two. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Warrior two, hold it here, breathe. And taking an inhale here, as you exhale, take your right arm, wrap it around the back of your waist, flip the front palm up, and then inhale, rise up into your peaceful warrior. Making sure you're pressing into the outer edge of that right foot, and we're not rolling onto the arch of the foot. Keep breathing. Inhale back into warrior two. And as you exhale, lower your elbow to the top of your thigh and reach that top arm up towards the ceiling. Fingertips are pointing towards the ceiling here. Try not to sink into the shoulder here like so. So press that elbow firmly into your thigh and bring that shoulder away from the ear. Use your abdominal muscles to keep yourself from falling over. So inhale, exhale, pull the abs in. And then inhale, rise up. And now let's straighten that front knee. We'll inhale here as we reach forward like we're trying to touch our fingertips to the wall in front of us. And then exhale, tip over like a teapot, coming into your triangle pose. So if you have a block, you can place that block right against your foot and use that. If you don't have a block or any type of prop, you can just take the back of your hand and press it into your shin. Nice stacked shoulders here, open chest. Breathe here. Take in and inhale. Exhale, put a deep bend in the knee. Rise back up into warrior two. And then bring your hands to your hips. Straighten the leg. Turn the toes forward. Kind of just shift the hips from side to side, wiggling it out here. And now we're going to do that same thing on the opposite side. So turn your opposite toes towards the top edge of your mat. Inhale, extend the arms long. As you exhale, bend that front knee. Reach nice and long here. Inhale, straighten the legs, rise the arms up in the air. Exhale, bend. Inhale. And exhale. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Hold it here. Tailbones pointing down. Abs are in. Let's lift the chest. Notice if you're leaning forward, we don't want to do that. We want our torso straight up and down. Knee is trading directly over the ankle. Press into the outer edge of that back foot. And take in an inhale. As you exhale, wrap that back arm around the back of your waist. Lift the front palm up. And then inhale, rise up, peaceful warrior. And we'll inhale back into warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. So rest that elbow on top of the thigh. Reach the fingertips towards the ceiling. Breathe here. You can gaze up towards the fingertips or you can look forward. I try not to look down because I feel like that kind of encourages us to round forward. We want to stay open here. Next inhale, rise back up into your warrior two. And now straighten that front leg. Inhale, reach forward. And then exhale, tip over into your triangle pose. Nice stacked shoulders. Pull the abs in. And inhale here. Exhale, put a deep bend in the knee, and then inhale, rise back up into warrior two. Exhale your hands to your hips. Straighten that front leg. Turn the toes forward. Take in an inhale here. Toes are pointing forward. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Again, using that block if you need it. Or you can bring the hands straight to the mat. We'll inhale to a half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And one more inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Hold it here and breathe. Now put a deep bend in the knees, hands to the tops of the thighs. Inhale, rise up. And so we're going to heel toe our feet together. Nice. Kind of bend it, wiggle it out here. Get some water if you need it. All right, from here, I'll move this block out of the way so you can see me. I'm going to work on some balancing. We're just going to do some simple little balancing postures, nothing too fancy. You're going to shift all of your weight into your left foot. Bring the hands to the hips. Make sure your tailbone is pointing down towards the mat. Your abs are in. Find something that's not moving. So maybe you watch me first and then you come into this. But find something that's not moving, something like a focal point, your drishti, to focus on to help you stay balanced. So we're shifting our weight into our left foot. And then we're going to inhale and we're going to extend the right foot forward. Keep the foot flexed. As you exhale, we're going to extend it back. Inhale, extend it forward. Exhale, back. Now, notice how when I extend the leg forward and back, I try to stay as straight up and down as I can. Try to do this. So try not to lean forward and backwards when you're doing this. Try to keep the leg in towards the midline of the body. When you extend that leg behind you, you're using your glutes and your hamstrings. So you're strengthening those. Keep pulling the abs in. And maybe you take your hands off your hips and bring your hands down by your sides. Or maybe, if you really want to challenge yourself, bring the arms up in the air. Continue going. Breathe. Move with the breath. Try not to move too fast. And then bring the foot next to you, but keep it off the floor. Inhale, pull the knee in towards the chest. And maybe you take one hand, I'll turn to the side so you can see me. Maybe you take one hand to the hip and the other one to the knee. Or maybe you keep both hands to the hips. Or whatever arm variation you want to choose. I like to bring my arms up in the air. I jokingly say this is Karate Kid. I'm doing my little Karate Kid impersonation. And breathe here. Keep that foot flexed, that right foot, like it would be if you were standing on the floor. Keep grounding through that supporting foot and reach tall. Keep those abs in. Take in an inhale, and then exhale, lower down. Now you can also do this with a chair next to you and use the chair to help with balance. Or you can come to a wall and use the wall. There's so many different things you can do. You can even take like if you have a walking cane or something like that, and stand it on the floor next to you and hold on to that and use that for balance. So if you need something to help keep yourself propped up, use it. It's your practice. Do what feels right for your body. So now we're going to shift our weight over into our right foot. Root that foot firmly into your mat and reach tall through the crown of your head. And then inhale, extend the left leg forward, and exhale, extend it back. Continue going. Move with your breath. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. Continue going here. Remember to find something that's not moving, a spot on the floor, on the wall, to use as your focal point. And if you start to wobble, like I just did, that is perfectly okay. It's called practice for a reason, right? We'll extend that leg back one more time. And then we'll bring it next to the other foot, but keep it off the floor. And then inhale, pull the knee in towards the chest. And if you want to stand here with your hand on the knee, that's okay. So also pay attention if you're kind of dumping into it like this. Don't do that. Reach nice and tall. Lengthen that spine. Reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Imagine you're using your most perfect posture. And then coming into your arm variations, maybe you choose something different on this side. Maybe you notice you're stronger on this side than the other. Or maybe you're stronger on the other side. We're not symmetrical creatures. We're always stronger on one side than the other. Continue to breathe. Continue to focus. Let this be a meditative moment for you. Pull the abs deep in towards the spine. A few more breaths here. And take in an inhale and an exhale, lower down. Wiggle it out. Whew. Stand on one foot for a while and the supporting leg will start to, you'll feel that burning sensation in your shin. You're just building strength, creating heat. All right, so let's come back to the top of our mat. We're going to inhale and rise the arms up in the air. As you exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. Inhale to a half lift. press the hips back, the crown of the head reaches forward, and then exhale, fold. Now bring your feet about shoulder distance apart. Turn the toes out, heels in. Taking an inhale here, and as you exhale, start to bend the knees and lower the hips down to the mat, coming into your yogi squat or squat. Now, you can, maybe you're flat on your feet like myself. If not, maybe you're on your toes. There's no right or wrong way here. Being flat on your feet or on your toes, no right or wrong way. If this is a very challenging for you and you're like, this is not happening today, you can always take a block or a stool and place it behind you, and then you can sit on the block. Making sure the knees are over the ankles. Nice lifted chest. Make sure your hands are in front of your heart in prayer pose. If you're sitting on a block, your elbows are most likely not pressing into your knees because you want to keep the chest lifted. If you're not on a block, you're flat on the floor like myself or on your toes, you can just press your knees into your elbows and your elbows into your knees. But keep that chest lifted. That's what I want you to focus on, is keeping the chest lifted. By using this engagement in the legs, by pressing the knees and the elbows in towards one another, you're actually engaging the muscles, building strength there. If you're sitting on a block or a stool, you can actually try to squeeze the inner thighs in towards one another, or imagine you're trying to drag your feet towards one another, but then you're also not, and you're engaging the muscles there that way too. So continue to breathe. We'll come out of this eventually, I promise. Bear with me, friends. Inhale. And exhale. And one more. Inhale. And as you exhale, come out of it. So you can come off the block. Sit your bottom down onto the floor. Just bring the knees in front of you. Around your shins. And just kind of hug yourself. Perfect. All right. So now we're going to bring our feet forward. We're going to make our way into our boat posture. So our feet are flat on the mat here. If you have a block, I suggest you go ahead and use it. If you don't, it's okay. You don't have to use the block. If you have a block, place it in between your thighs and squeeze that block with your thighs. Squeeze it to the point of feeling contraction in the leg muscles, but you're not causing tension, just contraction. And then kind of lean back just a little bit and pull the abs deep into the spine. So pull from your pelvic floor. You're pulling the abs in and up. We're going deep in there. And then place your hands on the back of your thighs. And breathe here. Nice lifted chest. Try to look forward. We're not looking up or looking down. We're kind of looking at an angle here, upward angle. And then you can lift one foot and then the other. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. If you have the block in between your thighs, keep squeezing the block as you lift one leg and the other. If you don't have a block, try not to let the knees cave in towards one another, but engage those thighs, but imagine as you're trying to squeeze the inner thighs in towards one another, but press the knees away from one another, and you can lift. And we'll do this about 2 more times on each side. If you want to let go of the back of the thighs and extend the arms long, you can. And then we'll lower both feet down to the mat. Sit up here, pull the knees in towards the chest. Wrap your hands around your shins or your arms around your shins and kind of wiggle from side to side. make our way down to our backs. Lower down onto your back here. Feet are on the mat, knees are over the ankles, hands down by your side, palms down on the mat here. Press the shoulders firmly into the mat. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the hips up off the mat. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And keep, as you're doing this, to keep the legs from shifting, from wobbling from side to side, you want to squeeze the inner thighs in towards one another, but press the knees away from one another. Drive your heels and press them firmly into the mat. As you inhale, lift the hips up, and then exhale, lower. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, and exhale. And 1 more. Inhale, lift it up and hold it here. Pull the abs deep and towards the spine. Keep driving the heels down into the mat. See if you can lift the hips a little bit higher. Look up, lengthen the back of that neck. Breathe. Notice if your shoulders are rounding forward, you'll press them firmly into the mat. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower down. Very slow and controlled. Beautiful. Now bring the feet wide and start to sway the knees from side to side. And then we'll bring the knees back upright. We're going to pull our right knee in towards our chest. Do some ankle rotations. So just clasp your hands around your shin. And do some ankle rotations here. Rotate in one direction and then in the other. And then you're going to take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. You're going to press that knee away from the body. Flex that right foot. Stay here for a moment. And don't force the knee away from the body. Just gently press it away. Stay here for a moment. Breathe. This is your reclined pigeon. It's also known as figure 4. And then we're going to go deeper into the stretch here. So let's lift the left leg up. Reach your hands through and clasp them behind the back of your thigh. Keep that left shin parallel to the ceiling. And try to press, use your elbow to press the right knee away from the body. And then you're pulling the left thigh towards the body. And keep both feet flexed here. And breathe. Continue to stay with the breath. If this stretch is a little too intense for you, you can always lower the left foot down to the mat and stay here. Wherever you are, that is what's perfect for you. And take in an inhale. As you exhale, come out of this posture. So if your leg is lifted, you'll lower it back down and then we'll unwind. Now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So cross that left ankle over the right knee. Take your left hand and press the left knee away from the body. Gently keep the foot flexed. Continue to breathe here. And then if you'd like to go deeper, you can lift the right leg up, reach through, clasp your hands behind the back of the thigh, pressing that left elbow into the left leg, pressing the leg away from the body, and pulling the right thigh towards the body. Keep both feet flexed. Continue to breathe. Continue to focus on your breath. And again, if this is too much for you, you can always lower the foot down to the mat. Stay with your breath. Couple more breaths here. Let this be a meditative time for you. And then if your right leg is lifted, lower the foot back down to the mat. And we'll unwind here. Now bring your arms out into a T shape. Just bring them nice and wide. We're going to inhale, lift the hips slightly off the mat and shift them to the left and then lower the hips back down. As you exhale, drop the knees to the right and look over the left shoulder. Coming into our supine twist. Breathe here. We'll be here for about 5 breaths. So maybe close your eyes. And just follow the breath as it goes in through the nose, through the chest, all the way down into the belly. And then out of the belly, through the chest, and out of the nose. Continue to breathe. Now 2 more breaths here. And on your next inhale, use the strength of your bottom leg to bring your legs back up to center. And now we're going to lift our hips up slightly and shift them over to the right. Lower them back down to the mat and then lower the knees down to the left. Look over your right shoulder this time. Stay with your breath. Again, we'll be here for 5 breaths. So follow the breath as it goes in and as it goes out. About 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Use the strength of the bottom leg to lift your legs back up to center. Shifting hips back to the center of the mat. And now pull your right knee in towards your chest and then your left. And just rock from side to side, massaging that lower back. Giving ourselves a little massage. Preparing ourselves for Shavasana, also known as final relaxation. So yoga is the only form of exercise where you actually take a rest at the end. And typically we lie down in what's called corpse pose. So you stretch the legs long And just kind of let the feet relax and hands come down by your side, palms facing up. If you are a regular yogi, someone who practices yoga regular, and you would like to do another form of Shavasana, feel free to do so. You can bring in pillows or bolsters or blankets to get yourself nice and comfortable. So I'll give you a moment to, about 30 seconds, to get yourself situated, and then we'll conclude class with our Shavasana. So once you are comfortable, taking a deep inhale through the nose, and then sigh out. Let your breath be as loud as it can be. No one can hear you. It's no big deal. You're at home, right? Inhale deeply. Sigh it out. And one more time. Inhale. And sigh it out. Let it all out. And now come back to your regular breath. And let your body relax. Scan the whole body. Notice if there's any sensations, any tension. Maybe breathe into that space and release the tension. Allow yourself to relax. If your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to your breath. Just follow the breath as it goes in and as it goes out. Continue to stay with your breath. Begin to bring your awareness back to this time and space. Feel the floor beneath you and how it supports you and holds you up. Notice any sensations in your body. And slowly and gently begin to bring movement back into the body by wiggling your fingers and toes. And then inhale, stretch the arms long behind you. Let the ribs flare. Point the toes. And as you exhale, roll to one side, cradling your head in your arm. And we'll pause here for just a moment of reflection. And when you're ready, begin to make your way into a comfortable. And once you're seated, bring your hands in front of your heart into prayer pose. And press your thumbs into your chest. And feel the vibration of your heart beating. Really connect to that feeling, the life that runs within you. And thank you for allowing me to guide you in your practice this evening, for allowing me to be a part of your day. I hope you have a wonderful night. Namaste.